Okay, looks like we met the incentive. That's something really amazing. So okay, let's start with Pepsiman, not any, but cutscene percent. So the difference here between any percent and cutscene percent is that I'm gonna go through the any person route, but I'm not gonna skip the cutscene, so we're gonna enjoy all of this, and I really hope that you guys got some Pepsi, because I got some of them. And I'm gonna get ready for this run. Okay, let's do it. So, well, this is a game that also doesn't need any kind of explanation. This is a marathon favorite for many people. So what I'm gonna be doing here is, I'm just gonna keep quiet during each cutscene, and well, I'm gonna try to explain what happened after all of this thing. So I'm gonna assume that we are ready to begin. So I'm gonna make the countdown from 3. So 3, 2, 1, go! And let's enjoy all of these wonderful cutscenes that you make possible with the donations for this good cause.
Hey, let's start the game!
And let's start the game. So this game has 4 stages with 3 scenes each of them. And at the beginning of each stage we're gonna have this wonderful cutscene, so please take attention.
Man, you got here just at the perfect time. I got a call that a vending machine ahead ran out of Pepsi, and I was just on my way there when I got a flat tire. There are a bunch of people gathered in front of the vending machine. They want Pepsi, and the word is that they're just about to riot. I plan to head over there as soon as I can fix this flat, but it looks like it's gonna take some time. Can't you do something, Pepsi Man?
Okay, so based on what we have seen here, looks like the only Pepsi truck in all the city got a flat tire, and the driver doesn't know how many times it's gonna take to him to fix the flat tire. So we need to go and bring to the people some Pepsi because they're getting exhausted and they want to drink a Pepsi because who don't want to drink a Pepsi? And well, since this is cutscene percent, as I've said before, the objective of this is basically any person with cutscenes. So what I'm gonna be doing here is that for any person category, I'm gonna try to avoid as many Pepsi cans as I can, because at the end of the stage, the game is gonna count how many Pepsi cans I have got. So the most Pepsi cans I have, it's gonna take more time to move me to the next stage. But later on the game, in order to be a bit safe, I'm gonna try to catch some Pepsi cans, because in later stages we're gonna have probably some problems to try to, well, that we need to try to get rid of. Because believe it or not, there's a hard section of the game. Usually between speedrunners of this game, we used to say that the hard part of speedrunning this is just to beat it casually for the first time. So here, this is not the real vending machine that we need to reach, but this is an exclusive one for Pepsiman. That for some reason, Pepsiman it's a kind of hero that can give free Pepsis to everybody, but he cannot give himself a Pepsi. I don't know why does this happen, but it happens for some reason. I don't know, try to find a good logic on this, because you're gonna have some good time to do this before we reach any specific spot during the game. So now we're gonna move to the second scene of the game, well, of this stage. And also, if you were wondering with the movements, there are three movements. Obviously, you can jump, and you can make a slide, and I have died. That's good. Okay, this has never happened before. So now, what I was saying is that you can make a slide, you can dash like this in order to go faster. So you're gonna be watching, and I'm gonna be using the dashing thing in most of the run. And now I introduce you to the Pepsiman Pro Skater section of the game. And I need to be so careful here, because if I just receive one hit, I'm gonna die directly. And also, since some months ago, cutscene turned into a category on the leaderboard, and I'm actually in second place. There are just 3 runs on cutscene percent. My PB and cutscene percent is 26 minutes and 2 seconds. And on 80% it's at 2050 something, I think. 2051 or 53, I don't remember exactly. I got that PB some months ago. But on 80% there are more runs. So now we have reached this vending machine where all the people is exhausted and it's getting mad because they don't get their Pepsis, but just Pepsiman extends his hand and he saved the day. And now it's time to move to the next stage of the game. That definitely should have hurt Pepsi. And believe it or not, this is the first boss stage that we're gonna be having on the game. So here, for some reason, Pepsiman decided to don't walk in the sidewalk, but at the same time, looked like some random people decided to put some random things on the street, and now he needs to escape from this big Pepsi can. I need to be careful here because I just can receive damage 3 times. And if I receive damage, I'm gonna get closer to the big Pepsi can, so I'm gonna have the less time to react about what's gonna be happening on the stage or what I'm gonna be getting. But yeah, there we go. This is the first stage in total. Now it's time to move to the next couple of cutscenes, and then we're gonna be able to continue with the game. But our good friend Mike Butters is gonna tell us something on a little bit.
You're doing pretty good.
Thank you. I really appreciate your words.
Have a Pepsi. Next stage.
And remember, everybody, have a Pepsi. Now it's gonna be time to understand the history behind of the second stage of the game. So please put attention.
Pepsiman, there's a building on fire just ahead. We need to get there immediately, but look what's happened. According to reports I have heard, they got the fire under control, but there are some people that couldn't escape fast enough and are trapped on the roof. They are extremely exhausted, and it doesn't seem likely that we can get first aid to them in time. Can't you give them something to help revive them, Pepsiman?
So here on the second stage, building got caught on fire. The fire is under control, but they don't know how many times it's gonna take to the firefighters to rescue the people that's on the roof of the building. So now, since they are getting exhausted, Pepsiman needs to refresh them with some Pepsi. So let's go. And again, this section it's insta kill if I receive 1 hit. Something I forgot to mention is that on the first stage when Pepsiman got trapped into a trash can, for some reason the controllers got inverted, so if I press left, it's gonna go to the right, and if I press right, it's gonna go to the left. And obviously in those sections you cannot run, so whatever. That shouldn't have happened. And also, I have to say that taking the Pepsi cans is slow, but since I have died, I have lost 1 life, and on next stage there are gonna be some things that probably are gonna be more trigger. I'm gonna try to get some Pepsi cans just to be a bit safe. So here in the game, each 25 Pepsi cans that I have at the end of the stage, the game is gonna give me 1 life. So here I'm gonna be fine with this amount because I'm just gonna get 1 life. That's gonna be enough for now. On later stages, probably I'm gonna go for more. Yes, I also cannot wait for the Pepsiman remaster on the PS5. And I really hope that that Sony can launch also a special Pepsiman edition console. I definitely want to buy it. And now let's move to the next stage of the game. And I really hope that Pepsiman can have a good tolerance for all of this hate that he is receiving. And now let's move on this section of the city that again Ghost forgot how to speak on English and how to say this, and he said that before he started with his runs on this marathon, he was gonna look for all these words that he's forgetting. But again, Ghost Senpai is the kind of person that even doesn't remember what does he take for the breakfast. Now I'm thinking about this, what I have to get as breakfast for today. I don't know. Let's focus back on the game. So once we get outside of the section, we're gonna go in here and avoid all of these things, and well, there's not so many things to say here, otherwise there's a lot of men that are gonna be working, and there's gonna be some shovels on the floor that are thrown, for example the one that I have skipped there, that obviously when you play casually, you're gonna fall on them a lot of times, because barely you can watch all of those things on the screen. Imagine a Pepsiman randomizer. Believe me that the day that there's a Pepsiman randomizer, I don't know how, but I need to find a way that FIS will agree to have a Pepsiman randomizer tournament on SpeedGaming. So now, Pepsiman wasn't able to reach the top of the building, but hey, he got the Pepsis for all the people who were there. So he saved the day again. Probably? I don't know. Try just to find some logic on this game, just still having some good time to do it. And now, another big hit for Pepsiman, and I'm pretty sure that a human cannot survive to falling from a big distance like that. And now we're gonna have this red pizza truck that is gonna be trying to chasing us because for some reason, they hate Pepsiman. They hate that Pepsiman gives some free Pepsis to the people who was on that building. So this leaves the question, why does Red Pizza hate Pepsiman? Does the Red Pizza people were the responsible of the fire on the building? If we get a second Pepsiman game, probably we can get all the answers to those questions. So here, it's supposed that this stage is gonna be more complicated than the stage with the big Pepsi can, but if you pay attention to the floor, you can notice the street lights. So with that, obviously that's a signal that there's gonna be some elements in front of you. And fortunately, all of these things are spawned on the same spot all the time, so if you play this game a couple of times, your mind, it's not gonna remember exactly where all of those things are, but at least you're gonna get an idea about where do you need to move. So that's something good, speedrunning talking about this game. And now, again, let's enjoy some wonderful cutscenes, and we're gonna have another good reminder in the game. And remember, everybody,
Pepsi for TV game.
Pepsi for TV game. Let's move to the third stage of the game. So we have beaten it and now a half of the game up to this point, so let's enjoy the second half of the game and put attention to the next story that we're gonna have in the game.
Pepsiman, a plane full of passengers had to make an emergency landing in the desert. We were on our way there when the helicopter broke down. Fortunately, no one was hurt or killed. But in the middle of nowhere, right in the middle of the desert, and they are all exhausted. Another helicopter is on the way, but it looks like it's going to take some time. Isn't there anything we can do to help them until that helicopter arrives?
And well, an emergency landing from a plane, nobody died, that's something good, but it's gonna take some time until they can rescue the people, so looks like Pepsiman is more faster, so what he can do in order to save all of these people? Well, let's discover this in some minutes. So now here, on the middle of a nowhere road, I don't know where we are, but hey, there's a lot of good Pepsiman and advertisements on, well, a good amount of Pepsi advertisements on the road, so that's something good, I guess. Also, if I receive damage, I just can receive damage 3 times in a row in the game, and if for some reason for each 10 Pepsi cans I can refill my health. So now I'm gonna, well, with these woods, with the lower ones I need to jump, with the higher ones I need to perform a slide, but there's a possibility that with the lower ones I can do a slide, so I'm gonna try to do this on a bit, but first I need to refill my health. And that's something that I like to call swag slide, because you have a slow, a very low frame window in order to do that. Fortunately, I cannot do that again because otherwise I'm gonna die. And also, I'm gonna be taking some Pepsis because I wanna get an extra life for the next stage. So now those guys got mad with me. Even if you don't get that Pepsi cans, they're gonna get mad with you for some reason. They're gonna try to chase you. And if they hit you, that's an insta-kill also, so I need to be so careful with that. Otherwise, I can die. But I'm taking the checkpoint just in case, because we never know what is gonna happen in this game. And now that I remember about this, I have a Pepsi shirt. Why I'm not using it during this run? I forgot that I had that shirt, but it's fine. So now with 50 Pepsi cans, I'm gonna get an extra life. Well, 2 extra lives, so this is gonna be helpful. Because on 3-2, there's a possibility that I can lose at least 1 life. Because there's gonna be a complicated section when, again, I'm gonna be over a barrel and I can get an insta-kill moment. So now let's move to 3-2. Now here we're gonna have a good amount of bulls that we need to avoid before we can enter to a mine. And this is the section I was talking about. Because with these pieces of, with these kind of bridges that we're gonna be having here, they are so tiny, so there's a big possibility I can fall down, and also if I receive a 1 hit, here I'm gonna die. Okay, there we go, I haven't died, this is really good. First try, let's go! But on 4-2, I'm probably gonna need more extra life, so I'm gonna catch some extra Pepsi cans here, so I can get another extra life. Just to be safe about this, because I was practicing there and I have died a couple of times. It's weird that I die, but again, I haven't played this game in a very good amount of time, and that 4-2 we're gonna have the only real complicated section of the run of this game. So I should be fine with these Pepsi cans. I'm gonna catch the last Pepsi can that I need on a bit. Okay, that wasn't the way I was expecting to get the Pepsi can, but hey, I got it. It's something, I guess. I also need to be aware of those rocks, because those rocks are also an insta-kill. And it doesn't matter that I don't catch the Pepsi cans to refill my health, because this is the end of the stage. And now, there we go! It's all the people from the emergency landing, and Pepsiman is gonna do what the Pepsiman is good to do. Give them some Pepsi. And I really hope that up to this point you have found some logic in this game, because believe me, from this point you're not gonna find any kind of logic, and you're gonna understand why in a couple of seconds. So please pay attention. So believe it or not, but this is the third boss of the game. So if this is not enough, first some pieces of wood are gonna spawn on the board again. It's the same pattern of the time, but there's gonna be a moment when some pieces of wood are gonna fly on the top of the screen. So obviously if you jump, you're gonna receive damage. So I'm gonna keep quiet here because, believe it or not, this is a bit tricky. Not complicated, but tricky to do sometimes. There we go! This is the first time in my life that I'm able to complete this section without receiving damage, so we're good. We're good. And now, let's move to more cutscenes in the game. Yeah, nice top shirt, and I forgot to use my Pepsi shirt. That's really, really amazing. And another good advice from our Pepsi dude on the screen.
Pepsi for pizza.
Remember, Pepsi for pizza. And now we're gonna start with the fourth stage of the game. I'm not gonna deeply explain all of this after we see what is gonna happen here, so just put attention and try to get your own conclusion.
It looks like the main computer of Pepsi City went out of control a little while ago from being overloaded. All the roads are affected by the computer and we can't move ahead. There isn't enough Pepsi for everyone, and violence has flared up amongst those wanting Pepsi. Exhausted people are collapsing because they can't refresh themselves with Pepsi. If it continues like this, there will be a worldwide shortage of Pepsi, and we'll have a real problem. Can't you do something to put the computer back in working order?
So, in a few words, the world is gonna be in a big trouble if we run out of Pepsi. So, you're gonna wondering, how does Pepsiman is gonna fix the main computer on Pepsi City? We're gonna discover that later also. So here now we are on the Pepsi City, and that's a good hit for Pepsiman. Don't worry, any alien installation is gonna happen after this run. So now, as you can see, everything on Pepsi City, it's a real mess. But again, the good thing is that most of the cycles are the same all the time, so I'm not so worried about this. And we're gonna have again these random moments, when again, if I press left, I'm gonna go to the right, and if I press right, I'm gonna go to the left. Fortunately, these sections where Pepsiman is inside of this trash can, this is not an insta-kill moment, so this is something good, as something safe, because sometimes you cannot calculate properly your inputs, and what's gonna happen is that probably you're gonna receive some damage. That used to happen to me on my first runs. I don't discard that probably this can happen on future runs, but this game is weird in general, in many senses. So if you try to find some logic on it, because I have told you that you needed to find some logic, I'm sorry, but you're not gonna find any logic here. And I don't think, okay, I'm gonna get an extra life just in case. I don't think I'm gonna need more of this, but an extra life is not gonna be bad, because as I've said before, on the next stage, on 4-2, we're gonna have the only difficult section of the game. Yeah, no lyrics, only Pepsi. And now let's move to the deepest section of the Pepsi factory. So if you guys have ever tried to visit a Pepsi factory and you haven't been able to do that, congratulations, because this is gonna be the first time that we're gonna have this interactive visit to a Pepsi factory. You can make an idea about how does a Pepsi factory is inside. So here, I believe on this panel with these arrows, the one that has an arrow goes to the front, it's gonna make you go slightly faster, and the arrows are in the other direction, and they're gonna make you go slower. So I need to use a proper combination of both of them to get some movements here. Because believe me, casually talking, probably this is the most complicated stage, and also there's a complicated section when we play this on runs. This is just this is just something that requires some good timing with your movements, and you're gonna be fine. And we're reaching the complicated section of the game in a little bit. It doesn't matter that I have received damage here, because anyways, this last section, it's an insta-kill section, so I'm gonna keep quiet here because this is the only complicated section of the game, because the walls on a little bit are gonna be so tight that it's gonna be a bit complicated to cross on them. Well, to cross between them. Here we go. I needed to fail this. It doesn't matter, I have a good amount of life because, believe me, this is more harder than it looks. I'm able to complete this without dying, but I think that I have got lucky moments before, so the game said, okay, you have got good moments before, let's mess up this a little bit. And again, I failed it. Okay, the third try is a good one. The third try is like the first attempt, so let's go. There we go, first try. And now, this is the way that Pepsiman saves the day on the Pepsi factory. Inglés, por favor. And now, as you have seen, Pepsiman has good abilities with computers, because now he just needed to give some Pepsis to the central machine, to the central computer, and he was able to save the day, to save the overloading on the computer. And now we have this little flashback from the first. Okay, this is not like the first stage, definitely, because this is a little twist with the game. So what are we gonna be doing here is that I just need to skip all of this Pepsi cans, but what is gonna happen is that also we're gonna have some of them jumping on the top of the screen, so this is gonna make all of those things complicated. So the time is gonna finish once I lose the control of Pepsiman, and that's gonna be the moment where the game turns into a kind of widescreen mode. So I believe each of these boss stages are slightly longer than the others. And also, you have seen during all the run that on the top right of the screen there's a meter that tells to us how far we are from the ending. So, okay, I have received damage, this is not good. So we're gonna finish on a bit. And time! And there we go, this is Pepsiman. And this is so bad. Well, my PB is on Kutsu percent is 26 minutes and 2 seconds. I finished 14 seconds behind, but hey, this was a bit good run considering that this was a resetless run.
You got it! Yeah! Woo! Everybody Pepsi! Drink Pepsi!
And this is also a Ghost Senpai advice.
Pepsi. Only my choice.
So again, well, first of all, thanks to all the people who has been contributing to this marathon with their donations, mostly to the people who donated for this incentive, because the staff were asking for $75 and this incentive received $80. So I'm pretty happy that we were able to have this run with the cutscenes incentive for the game, but this last cutscene hasn't finished there. We need to keep watching this. And I mean, I really love the Pepsis from the bottom of my heart, but definitely that big amount of cans doesn't mean that something healthy is gonna happen to this guy.
Pepsi is... Excuse me.
And there we go. This was Pepsiman, Kids and Percent, but the fun stuff doesn't finish here, because after this run we're gonna continue with Alien Isolation, and after that run I'm gonna be back with Pac-Man World, which is gonna be interesting because I haven't got enough time to route the game, and I haven't played this for like that game for 1.5 months, so it's gonna be interesting what we're gonna be watching here. So keep tuning the marathon, and remember to donate for the good cause. We are we are getting funds for the No Kid Hungry organization. So for more info, use the command NHK, and you're gonna get all the links that talk about this charity. And remember that all of the money goes for the good cause. I was Good Senpai. Let's see you on a little bit.